Indiana Fever and former Iowa star Caitlyn Clark continues her ascension as one of the top figures in women's basketball and in sports. Time magazine named Clark as their athlete of the year.
Caitlyn Clark, the college phenomenon turned WNBA superstar, is now the undisputed athlete of the year. Is this a fairy tale ending to her historic season, or just the beginning of an even greater journey?
She broke the college basketball career scoring record in her senior season at Iowa, led the Hawkeyes to a second straight Final Four. She then turned pro, and as the number one pick in the WNBA draft, Clark won Rookie of the Year, led the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance in 8 years, and is the second female star to win the honor for Time magazine, following the footsteps of gymnastics great Simone Biles in 2020.
In a tell-all interview, Clark opens up about her roller coaster rookie year, offering an unfiltered look into the highs and lows that shaped her journey. From shattering records to dealing with behind-the-scenes struggles, these 10 revelations will challenge everything you thought you knew about one of the brightest stars in the sporting world. Clark holds nothing back as she delves into her so-called rivalry with Angel Reese, the jealousy she faced upon entering the league, her controversial Olympic snub, and the firing of Coach Christy Sides. But that's not all. Stick around to uncover her candid thoughts on the offseason, her perspective on WNBA legends, and her ambitions for a standout sophomore year.
I feel like so much has happened over the course of last year, from when I started my last college season and not knowing if that would actually be my last season, whether I was deciding to come back to college or turn pro, and now sitting here like I'm done with my first professional season, and so much has happened.
Picture this. Caitlyn Clark steps onto the WNBA court for the first time. The weight of expectations is heavy, but her composed demeanor speaks volumes. She's ready to prove the doubters wrong, and prove them wrong she did. In a stunning rookie season, Clark shattered an incredible 62 WNBA records, building on her already legendary college career, where she became the NCAA's all-time leading scorer. From three-pointers to assists, Clark redefined the rookie record books in every way possible. But her influence went far beyond the numbers. Her electrifying style of play revitalized the Indiana Fever and turned WNBA games into unmissable events. The Fever was forced to move to larger arenas to accommodate the growing crowds, and in Washington, a regular season game drew over 20,000 fans, setting a new league record.
For the longest time, the WNBA has been trying to get on this global scale, and I feel like that's the direction they are finally headed. I think that WNBA fans have always been proud supporters and pushers of the advancements of this league, but sometimes it takes a certain star of a certain caliber to really just expand and explode the league from the inside out, and that's what Caitlyn Clark.
The Clark effect sent shockwaves through the sports world. Her jersey sales soared, and her impact on league revenue was unprecedented. One athlete responsible for nearly 30% of her entire league's earnings. It's a groundbreaking achievement that's transforming the landscape of women's professional basketball. Now, let's dive into Clark's take on the most intriguing stories from her rookie WNBA season.
Whether it was, making the national championship game or getting the Fever back to the playoffs since 2016, there's just a lot to be proud of. And it all happened so fast, like it's hard to appreciate in the moment and kind of understand in the moment, but it's been fun to reflect on.
While Caitlyn Clark was breaking records on the court, the media stirred up drama off it, focusing on the narrative of a so-called fierce rivalry between her and Angel Reese. This story captivated fans and flooded social media, but was it too good to be true? In a candid interview with Time, Clark set the record straight. "I don't get that at all," she said, dismissing the idea of a rivalry with Reese. She pointed out the obvious. "We're not best friends by any means, but we're very respectful of one another. Yes, we've had tremendous battles, but when have I ever guarded her, and when has she guarded me?" It's a valid point many overlooked in the heat of the moment. Even the controversial ring finger and "you can't see me" gestures during their college matchup didn't faze Clark. "I didn't think it was taunting. It really didn't bother me," she revealed. Instead, Clark expressed frustration that this fabricated drama overshadowed their outstanding performances. "Why don't you talk about them winning or the incredible run we went on that nobody thought we'd ever make?" she said, highlighting the true achievements of their teams.
But yeah, I mean, I think, what she's done with her platform has been absolutely incredible. And, she has an entire fan base that has supported her and what she did at, Maryland and then LSU. Like, obviously, I've played her for a very long time and she's been a tremendous player. So, it's been fun getting to compete against. I think it's been really good for the game. Like, people just love seeing great matchups.
Clark's message was crystal clear. Focus on the game, not the gossip. She called out those fueling the drama, saying, a lot of people who wanted to have opinions on what was happening probably didn't even watch half the games. It's a powerful reminder to celebrate these athletes for their skills on the court, rather than getting caught up in the manufactured drama surrounding them.
24 WNBA draft. The Indiana Fever select Caitlyn Clark, University of Iowa.
Clark's transition from college superstar to WNBA rookie hit her hard. The stark differences between college and professional basketball were intense. Her debut game was a wake-up call, 20 points, sure, but only 3 assists and an eye-popping 10 turnovers, a record she definitely didn't want. The smooth flow she had mastered in college was gone. Everything felt choppy. No one really knew what the other person was doing, she admitted, referring to a team and coach still figuring each other out, adapting to her unique, once-in-a-generation style of play. And the defense? In her words, really bad. But here's where it gets interesting. Clark isn't one to back down. She dug deep, learning with each game. Her teammates became more alert, her coach allowed her to play her game, and those turnovers started to drop. Even on tough nights, Clark's confidence never wavered. This is so annoying because I know I'm literally right there, about to be one of the best players in the league, she would tell herself.
I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I feel like there's just so many areas that I want to improve in and to continue to get in the gym and work on that every single day.
As she looks ahead, Clark's ambition burns brighter than ever. I'm just scratching the surface, she declares, poised to leave her mark on the WNBA. Are you ready to see what Clark does next on the world stage?
On the WNBA. Are you ready to see what Clark does next on the world stage?
She, until the day before the Olympic team was leaked, was convinced she was going to be on the team. That is the maddest thing with USA basketball. Like, she was convinced she was on the team until the day before it was leaked. That's mental.
Caitlyn Clark's journey to the top hit an unexpected bump. Despite her dazzling 30.7-point, 3-point game, she received shocking news from her agent. She wasn't making the Olympic team. It stung, but Clark's reaction was nothing short of class. Instead of lashing out, she took the high road. She shut down arguments that she should make the team for marketing reasons. I don't want to be there because I'm somebody that can bring attention, she said. I want to be there because they think I'm good enough. I don't want to be some little person dragged around for people to cheer about and only watch because I'm sitting on the bench. That whole narrative kind of upset me because it's not fair. It's disrespectful to the players who earned it, and it's disrespectful to myself. Clark showed immense respect for the players selected and even acknowledged her early season struggles. But this setback ignited a fire within her. After the Olympic break, Clark came back stronger than ever. She led the Fever on a 4-game winning streak, landed in the top 3 for scoring after the break, shattered assist and 3-point records, and guided the Fever to their first postseason appearance in nearly a decade. Now, Clark's eyes are locked on the future. Making the 2028 team is a huge, huge goal, she declared, determination clear in her voice. This Olympic snub is just the beginning of Clark's quest for greatness. But her path hasn't always been smooth. Remember that I poke controversy? If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know your time is valuable, and we appreciate you. Now, back to the action.
As everyone else has seen this angle, I'm calling her in, and I'm saying to her, I need answers.
Caitlyn Clark's remarkable season took an unexpected turn during a heated playoff game against the Connecticut Sun. In a routine play, Dejanay Carrington accidentally poked Clark in the eye, sparking a media frenzy. But Clark's response was nothing short of impressive. Instead of retaliating or playing the victim, She calmly defended Carrington, understanding the intense nature of competitive play, and criticized the media's attempt to stir up unnecessary drama. Her level-headed approach in the face of chaos revealed a side of Clark that many hadn't seen before. "Never once did that cross my mind that it was on purpose," she said. "I've been poked in the eye many times playing basketball. It happens." Clark also pointed out the double standard, suggesting a gender bias in how such incidents are treated. If that would have happened in the NBA, do you think people would have shown up the next day and been like, "Hey, Tyrese Halliburton, did you poke Steph Curry in the eye on purpose?"
Circling back on the play with your eye, what would you say to the crowd of people that think a hit like that was intentional and maybe even warrants a suspension?
It wasn't intentional by any means. You just watched the play. It wasn't intentional.
All right. Thank you, Caitlyn.
Thanks, Caitlyn.
The eye poke incident wasn't the only challenge Clark faced in her debut season. Earlier, she had suffered a ruptured eardrum and was on the receiving end of an unfair number of flagrant fouls. Yet, despite it all, Clark stayed focused on the game and maintained respect for her fellow players. The eye poke, though unfortunate, ultimately shaped the public's perception of Clark's character. It showcased her ability to stay true to her values and keep her focus on the game, even in the face of adversity. Her composure during this moment became a defining aspect of her rookie year, highlighting her maturity both on and off the court.
So many records she broke, not only in college, not only her rookie season. So much has been accomplished for the Indiana Fever. They broke the WNBA home attendance for a single franchise. I mean, I believe the Mystics and the Fever game was the most viewed WNBA game ever in history, single game attendance. So just so many things have happened in such a short amount of time on the back of Caitlyn Clark. But I love the fact that she's also given credit where credit is due, because as we know, that was a big conversation when she entered the league. And she said, look, there's enough love to go around. And if you're not a fan of Caitlyn Clark, I don't see how you read this article and don't